When writing a business owner's policy, you will have the following 6 items included in every policy. There may be more things, but there will never be less than these following 6 items when writing a business owner's policy. And prior to giving you the 6 items that will always appear in this type of policy, I want you to know that it's automatically assumed that anything explicitly or specifically excluded in a policy will obviously not be covered. So instead of saying that for each one, just know that as I talk about each area of coverage, if there is a specific exclusion, it is not covered. Unless it's specifically excluded, then these are the 6 things that you will find in every business owner's policy. The first one will be building coverage. In building coverage, the policy covers the value of appliances, the building itself, or pieces of equipment that are damaged or destroyed. Next, after building coverage, is personal property coverage. Under this part of the policy, you are insuring and agreeing to pay the amount equal to the value of the business's property or the property of another individual or organization that is in the care of the business, that either is damaged or destroyed as the result of any event. Under the third part of this business owner's policy would be called an extra expense coverage. In this part of the policy, what you are agreeing to pay is an amount equal to the amount that a business will need to continue operating if the business can no longer function as the result of any event. Obviously not specifically excluded by the policy. I know of an individual in this case whose business was temporarily shut down due to a hurricane that passed through the area, and this part of the policy covered his expenses while he could no longer carry on business because the power grid was down and other things like that. It allowed him to bring his workers back, continue to pay them, and get them sent out to help effect repairs in their customers' homes as well. So this particular part of the policy is important and helps someone carry on their business when an event makes it possible for them not to be able to function as they normally would. The next area of coverage is liability coverage. And under this part of the policy, what we are covering is the legal fees and or damages that an insured business may incur as a result of the organization's business activities. So they are sued or they are ruled against in a court case, then this part of the business owner's policy will cover those expenses. Next is medical expenses. And under this part of the policy, you're not covering the medical expenses of the owner of the business or any employee. These are expenses that come about because of someone else not associated with the business who is either harmed or damaged in some way while on the business's property. So this is someone who does not live or work with the insured but is injured on the business's property, and as a result they are needing medical coverage. This part of the policy covers those medical expenses. And then finally, the last part of this policy is called Supplemental Liability. And this comes in if, after number 4 has been used, the liability coverage covering legal expenses or covering damages, if the amount of legal expenses or damages exceeds what is covered under 4, then number 6 kicks in with a supplemental amount to cover the shortfall that wasn't covered under 4. So when writing your business owner's policies, they will always include these 6 items at a minimum, with the understanding that if it is specifically excluded, then obviously you don't pay, but everything else is covered, from the building, the personal property, extra expenses due to loss of being able to conduct business, liability, medical expenses for those who are on the property and injured, and finally supplemental liability.